How's it going, guys? I'm 𝐓𝐑𝐃𝐃𝐈𝐁𝐋𝐿, and today's video is going to be 8 different life hacks and tricks for your phone that you might not have known about and should be pretty useful. And this is going to be for both Android or iOS. No matter what you're using, this should work on both. So why don't we get started? All right, now for this first one, you might not even have to have your phone with you, and that's how you can tell if someone gave you a phone number that's real or not. I don't know, maybe you have this issue. So what you do is after you ask for their phone number, they either type it in or they give it to you and you write it down. You read it back to them, but you give 1 digit off. So if the last 4 digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, you read off their number and then end it with 1, 2, 3, 5. And if they correct you, then it means that they actually, remember the number because it's real and it's real. Or if they don't correct you and say, oh yeah, that's right, then they obviously don't remember the random number they gave you, so you can tell it's fake. Now, if you're not really socially adjusted, let me clue you in. If someone gave you a fake phone number, don't go and demand and say, haha, gotcha, and then demand the real number because they don't want to talk to you. Just kind of take note and say, all right, good to know, and leave, or something like that. Unless, I don't know, you don't want to get scammed and you actually have to talk to this person again for like business or something. But again, it might be useful. All right, next up, tip 2, and this will be really useful if, I don't know, you have a roommate or a friend who tends to like sleep through their alarm and it's really annoying. Basically, if you go and call that friend's phone, it will typically stop that alarm. And I know this works on iPhone and it will snooze the alarm. It might not turn it off completely, but that's good to know. And I'm not really sure if this works on Android. I know it doesn't on maybe later versions, but it might on earlier versions. But still, if you call them, maybe it'll be enough to wake them up in the first place anyway. So give them a call if their alarm's going off, if it's annoying you. All right, moving on to number 3. This one is if you ever have to save a phone number that has an extension on it. So sometimes if you call a company and then you immediately always have to type in the extension for someone, you can actually save the extension along with the phone number so it will dial it automatically. Now, it's different depending on whether you're on iPhone or Android. If you're on iPhone, what you do is you go into the contact like you'd normally type in the phone, and then you hold down the star button and it will add a comma. And then you can add the rest of that extension. And then what will happen is we'll dial the phone number and then pause. And then after it picks up or whatever, it will dial that extension so you don't have to every time. And then it'll automatically go to that person. And what you can also do is say it starts dialing the extension too early, it doesn't wait long enough, you can actually keep pressing and holding the star button to add more commas so it will create a longer delay until it's long enough where it works. Now on Android, you can also do this, although it will depend on what dialer you're using and like what version of Android you're using. So I believe on most it will work the same, where if you hold down the star, it'll add a comma, or at least for the latest beta for Android 9, there's actually like 3 dots where if you press that, you can choose right there whether to add a pause or a wait, so you have 2 options. And with these, the 2-second wait is as you would expect, and you can add multiple of them, or the wait command will actually wait and prompt you for when you want to dial the extension. So this might actually be the better situation, where you can wait until it's ready to accept the extension on the other side, then you press it, it auto dials it, so you at least don't have to remember the extension. All right, next up, number 4. This one's pretty quick actually, and it's how you can use your phone's camera to determine whether like your TV remote or some other remote is out of batteries. And all you have to do is point the camera at the remote and press a button and see if the infrared light on the remote lights up. Because unlike our eyes, phone cameras typically can see infrared light when we can't. So this way you can check if the remote's actually doing something. And you can also use this on literally anything else that emits IR. So maybe if you want to check whether all the infrared lights on your security camera are working or something like that, this might be useful. All right, on to number 5. This is a really great one if you know that you're like addicted to your phone, you can't keep your eyes off it, you pick up your phone to look at something and you don't even really want to do anything with it, you don't know why you did it, and that is you can actually change the phone screen to grayscale on both iOS and Android, and this will make it so the screen is literally less appealing to look at to your brain. So if you change the phone to all gray, then that's going to eliminate any like colorful icons that app developers use to get you to click on their app all the time, or you're browsing through videos and your brain is like addicted to it. It can't take its eyes off it. This will make it more boring, literally, so you're less likely to waste more time on your phone. Now, to do this, first on Android, what you have to do is first enable developer options. And if you're not sure how to do this, you could probably Google it specifically for your version of Android. But usually what you have to do is just go into the settings and find the build number and then keep tapping on that until it enables developer mode. And then you go to the developer options and scroll down. What you're gonna be looking for is a setting called simulated color space. And then you just click on that and select monochromacy, and then that will change the phone to be all grayscale. So there you go. On iOS, it's also just as easy. What you do is go to General Settings, and then Accessibility, Display Accommodations, Color Filters, and then select Grayscale. And also on iOS, you can actually enable a shortcut where you can triple tap this to enable it anytime you want. So to do that, you go back to the Accessibility menu that we were just at, and you go to Accessibility Shortcut near the bottom, and then click Color Filters. And now, anytime you triple click the home button, it will enable or disable that filter that we enabled. So again, this might be useful, especially if, I don't know, at night you want to go to bed. You can try turning off the colors on your phone and seeing if it maybe makes your brain less likely to just keep you up for looking at dumb stuff. All right, so we got a few more. And number 6 is that you can actually control the intensity of most phones' flashlights so it doesn't turn on to full brightness all the time if you don't need it. So on iOS, this is actually really easy. In the latest versions, you can bring up the control center by swiping from the bottom, or I think it's from the top if you're on iPhone X. Either way, if you 3D touch on the flashlight, it'll actually further bring up a menu where you can control the brightness. You can slide it up and down right from that menu, super easy. If you're on Android, not all versions of Android will have this built into the operating system, but I know that at least on Samsung phones, if you scroll down from the top and bring down the quick options menu, I believe if you tap on the word flashlight, if it's in the shortcuts menu instead of the symbol, it should also bring up another menu where you can select the brightness. And if your version of Android is stock and doesn't have this option, you might just have to download an app that will do this for you. All right, next up, number 7. This one's pretty cool, and it's actually how you can type in a number or symbol with your keyboard on your phone without actually having to switch back and forth between the numbers and symbols keyboard. So to do this and see what I mean, all you have to do is go to the 1, 2, 3 button, which normally will switch between keyboards, and hold it down. And then keep holding it while you drag your finger to either a number or symbol in that keyboard, and then when you release it, it will type in that number and then automatically switch back. So this way, if you want to type in a number, instead of having to literally tap 3 times, where you switch keyboard for 1, then you type the number, then you switch back, that's 3, you can just literally do it once and hold, and it types it in. And this will work on both iPhone and Android, although on Android, some keyboards may actually have little numbers next to a letter, and what you can actually do is hold down right on that letter, and then it will bring up the number corresponding to it, so you can type it in right there. All right, finally, number 8. This one is kind of related to a phone, I guess, but still useful. And that is, if you're traveling, what you want to do is when you check into a hotel, they typically give you 2 keys, or they might ask you for how many keys you want. And what I always do is I always keep one like in my wallet, and then if I happen to lose my wallet, I also keep one between the phone and my phone case. So I figure, you know, if you lose both your phone and your wallet, you probably have bigger problems, and you can always go to the hotel front desk to get another one. And also what's useful is sometimes if the hotel has those NFC sensors where you can hold your card up to the door, you can just take out your phone, hold it up to there, instead of taking out your wallet and taking it out, because sometimes it can't go through the wallet, the signal, so usually it can go through the phone case. So a couple uses there, pretty useful. And I guess that's it. If you guys have any other cool life hacks or tricks that I did not mention, I know there's plenty out there that I might have missed, let us know down in the comments, and also be sure to check down in the comments and see if anyone left some really good ones. Also, I should point out, if you live in the US at least, I think they're rolling this out on YouTube, you may have noticed the new YouTube merch feature. So below my video, you can actually see some funny merch I made. You can get it, it's like a couple shirts and stuff. Pretty cool. And I'll actually give you guys who are watching this video a free shipping code. It's WooLad. So hilarious joke, I know, really. So if you want to get a joke shirt, or you think it's a good design, whatever, order it from there, or you can just go to the description. I think you can really order it from anywhere. It just doesn't show up unless you're in the US. Anyway, if you want to keep watching, I'll put some videos right here. You can just click on those and be sure to subscribe. I make a couple videos every week. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.